This week on the Spotlight, we congratulate the Chicago Cubs for making the National League playoffs. And congratulations to Chris Sale for setting a single-season White Sox strikeout record. We talked to Robin Ventura, and then we talked to a young White Sox player who's really happening. By the way, Robin Ventura is back for next season. We'll talk to him again. And we'll talk to the new coach of the Bulls, Fred Hoiberg. All that this week on the Spotlight. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, this is the 27th year of the Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You got to get to Calabria Imports, Italian Foods Deli. Mention this TV ad for a free Joe tea with a sandwich order. It's at 1905 West 103rd Street. They have great stuff. I'll shop there. I'll see you there. Calabria Imports. You've got to get to the Cove for Benkowski Trivia, Wednesday, September 23rd at 8 p.m. Great people, great game. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Calabria Imports has Italian foods and a great deli. You mention this TV ad, and you get a free Joe tea with a sandwich order. Conveniently located at 1905 West 103rd Street, Calabria Imports has great stuff. Check it out. I do all the time. Since 1967, El Jardín has been serving the finest Mexican food. Before, after, or during ball games, located conveniently just 3 blocks south of Wrigley Field, 3335 North Clark. Whether there's a game or not, you still get hungry, and El Jardín has great service, great food, and great drinks. I've enjoyed every meal I've had there, and you will too. So get to El Jardín for great Mexican food at 3335 North Clark Street in Chicago. You'll be glad you did. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting, most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. We're back in the Spotlight. It's time to talk Robin Ventura. I don't want to say Robin has a glow coat shield, but he kind of does. After a couple of really rough finishes, he seems unscathed, and all the inside reports are that he'll be back next year. Hopefully he's learned from some of the trials and tribulations of this year with the White Sox, particularly needing to stress fundamentals, both defensive and base path early, and more disciplined hitting. The Sox looked like they had a lot of offensive talent with some of the offseason acquisitions they made, but it never materialized, and they were a low-scoring team all year that just didn't capitalize when they did have men on base. So how much will be taught, how much will be learned, what coaches will be lost as sacrificial lambs remains to be seen. But here's one of the final excerpts of Robin for 2015.
Merck is reporting surgery for one of your players.
Micah, yeah. We'd mentioned it a little bit in New York that he had something going on with his knee, and they got in there and looked at it. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but I know they're going to go in and clean it up and get it fixed. He had something that he just felt like was in there, and playing-wise, you just can't play your best. So, they did the right thing. You go in and check, and it's not that big a deal, but it's enough to go in and fix it.
He mentioned the hitch he has a little bit on the double play. He said something he's going to work on in the offseason. How do you fix it? How do you go about getting rid of that?
That's repetition, of being able to do that over and over again. When guys are younger, if they have something like that, it's just like seeing pitches and anything else, working on the strike zone. repetition's what helps that. And I think for him, it's going to be having the confidence to be able to do that, make a slight change, and be comfortable with it. That's always doable, and I think he has the ability to do that.
So you can't get rid of it. It's not like a rote thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that just sticks with you. Again, you have to be able to do it and get comfortable with it, and that comes with doing it over and over and having repetition. I think anything out on the field that you can try and fix comes with repetition, especially if you're going to change something mechanical like that.
When you see the players for the last time in a couple days, do you have a little program for them? Do you have things you want them to work on in the off season?
I think you have conversations with guys when they leave, but really the program is to get in shape. I mean, if there's something like Micah has, we'll be able to see that, and he'll know that. But most of it is just to be in shape, be ready to go when you get back. That's the biggest thing. That's AT will have a nice program for him. Some of them might even lose a little weight.
Well, I think the modern athlete is in probably better condition than...
They're in much better condition than they used to be when they get to spring training. They're ready to go.
But I would like to follow up more about the nuances of play. Like, let's say, a hitter that has some kind of quirk in his swing. I mean, you guys have looked at that by now.
Yeah, but I mean, unless a guy's going to winter ball and is going to do that, it's really hard to do that unless you're seeing live pitching. So, I mean, there's little things you can work on, but I think being open to that when you get to spring training, that there's going to be some changes going, because unless you're seeing live pitching, you're just seeing a toss ball, and it's hard to make that change and be comfortable with it.
Is there a timetable for when Michael will be able to resume baseball?
That I don't know. I just found out today. I know he was gone yesterday, but that he was having this tomorrow.
Trace has obviously shown he's a plus defender, all three outfield spots. He can hang in there offensively as well. Is it a guy that you got to find a spot for? I mean, how do you deal with it going into the offseason?
Well, right now we're dealing with it by having him continue to rotate around the outfield, and there's really not I think when you look at our outfield, there's not a spot that he can't play in the outfield, and he's proved that by his play. But and right now we're kind of four outfielders, so you're rotating them around. I like to keep him in there as much as we can, since he hasn't been here all that long. But we're getting plenty of looks at him. But we're rotating around that DH spot from the outfielders, and he's, I think, by the play last night, you're seeing the jumps that he gets. He made one in New York in right field. Center field's probably his most natural position. He just has a lot of range. I think when you see him run, it's impressive, just the jumps and the strides that he has going after a ball.
You guys kind of put a premium on Micah's speed in spring training, what he could bring to a lineup. Is there sort of that same thing for his defense? Is it that level of defense?
His breaks and his getting at balls are impressive. The speed that he has, I mean, you don't really see it right away, but I think once you see his stride, he's pretty fast. I think that's the impressive part of seeing that. He can steal some bags. We've seen just the smart decisions out of him that, last night was a do-or-die play, and he made it.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furlan, DDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. Nuevo Leon, for the best Mexican cuisine since 1962. Serving every day from 7 a.m. to midnight. Conveniently located 1515 West 18th Street, just a block east of Ashland in Chicago. Of course, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a wide range of menu items. Everything from steak, seafood, to breakfast, to chicken, pork, dine-in, carry-out, tacos, enchiladas, everything you can imagine, and great quality at Nuevo Leon, 1515 West 18th. So the White Sox season is over for 2015 as we speak to you. I'm here in the final days after a couple of conversations. And to be upbeat, let's start with Trace Thompson, one of the true bright spots of the latter half of the year, coming from a great sports family. And almost you wonder if he was mired in the minor leagues too long. But in his time up, in the couple of months here, he made impact and showed not only great defensive skill in the outfield, but some hitting and some power hitting and clutch hitting. And he talks about those items, and we'll try to accompany it with the most telling graphics. But watch for this guy in 2016.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a center fielder. I still try to work on that in batting practice. Even if I'm playing left field, I still make sure I go out there and get my jumps in center and stuff. But I'll go wherever they tell me, wherever it can help me get in the lineup and stuff like that. So, I know it's a challenge for me to go back and forth and whatnot. But if anyone's up for the challenge or up for the work, it's me.
What are you going to take from this? And has it been more playing time than you thought? About what you expected?
I didn't know what to expect, really, to be honest with you. I just wanted to make the most of my opportunity when I did get my chance to play. But, this is a big offseason for me. I thought last offseason was probably the biggest offseason of my career as far as, time to put up or shut up. But, these past 2 months have kind of, validated to me that I can play up here. And this offseason, I'm going to get after it like I've never worked. I pride myself on my work in the off season, but I'm very this is very motivating to me. Being up here these last 2 months has been very motivating to me. I'm going to definitely take into the off season and bust my tail and get after it and really come back to spring training and try to make a strong impression.
Is there a fine line there between maybe doing too much? You don't want to take some time for
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take some time off, let my body rest and stuff like that. And, I took a lot of time off last year as far as just stepping away from the game. It was the first offseason I didn't play in winter ball or something like that, so that was kind of a breath of fresh air for me, and it worked out. But I still have some things mechanically with my swing and stuff to work on, but I got to make sure my elbow and my wrist heal up first, and still got to get a little bit stronger and stuff like that. But it's like I said, it's still very motivated. I'm still very motivated, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting in the routine this offseason.
You gonna hang with Nolan at all? Maybe rub his head and try to rub some of that out?
I'm gonna eat whatever he's eating or do whatever he's doing, man. 40 home runs is amazing. I've said it since the day I've played with him. He's the best player I've ever played with or played against, and I've played against all the good ones now, and I still believe that. And when we were coming up, he was always known for his hitting, and then he gets to the big leagues and wins a Gold Glove. Everyone knows him for his defense, and everyone kind of didn't look at his hitting. And, he's definitely established himself now. I'm just trying to follow his path, and he's probably my best critique and my best hitting coach. So. I'll have a lot to learn this offseason.
You've talked about your brothers kind of giving you support, patting you on the back. How about him? Has he sent you some texts?
We talk every day. Every day. I talk to him almost more than my parents, really. We talk every single day. So that's the first thing I do whenever our game's finished, is come in here and check, see how he did and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun. His family is like a second family to me, and they follow me. They came to our games in Anaheim too. So. I love him like a brother, and I'm very proud of him, and I couldn't be here without him.
Was there ever a point in your minor league career where you thought, even just briefly, whether you'd get this chance or not?
No, I always believed in myself. Minor leagues is grind, and there's definitely times where there's definitely lows and there's definitely highs, but I never doubted myself. I always knew I had the ability, and I always knew, this was God's plan for me, but. There's definitely times where I you know, you sit there and you're like, wow, I suck. Like, you know, I can't believe this is happening, but you just got to push through it. That's how the strong survive. You know, there's no easy way to get to make it in this game. You just got to grind through it. And, you know, you always hear baseball players talking about what a grind this is, and that's truly what it is. It's definitely a mental grind, and it can break you down, but you just have to be mentally strong.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget the Illinois Lottery too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. You know you should get to the Dirty Sock on alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. when I do my trivia game. They have great food, great drink, great people at 93rd and Roberts Road. It's a fun place. I've been going there for years. So start coming out on Thursday nights at least. I'll see you at 8 o'clock. We'll have fun. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, Parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's. We're back on the spotlight. We're talking White Sox manager. And so the season is over for the White Sox. The Cubs make the playoffs, and we're watching the playoffs carefully. As far as Robin goes, though, hopefully he's learned from his experiences of 2015, and that adds to his managerial resume. But you hear a lot of speculation that Ozzie Guillen could return. I was talking with a close broadcasting friend, and the name Dave Martinez came up, a former Cubs and White Sox player who's the right-hand man for Joe Madden and would be a fit, in my opinion, here. And he's a relatively young guy who's played in the majors within the last 10, 12 years. So, a lot to sort out for the White Sox brass. And a lot for the Reinsdorf family to sort out in terms of which brass will stay. But anyway, here's our last excerpt of Robin for this rugged baseball season. In terms of the outfield, again, if he was playing more center, do you think Adam would be willing to play some left, and if Melky was playing more DH?
Well, he would have to if he was playing center. So you either have the choice of not playing or playing somewhere else if Trace is playing center. So we'll deal with that at another point. But, they can all play in the outfield. They both play in the outfield at the same time, absolutely.
With Adam LaRoche, by all counts, he's worked hard. He's been a really good leader, a great teammate. Bad year. What type of advice would you give him? What type of exit information would you try to send him back with?
You wipe this away, like that you want to wipe it away. Again, you look at a guy with a body of work and the experience. He's been frustrated as much as anybody, and I get it. But you see the things that are there that he can do that we need as a team to be able to move forward. And a power left-handed bat that can play first base. He's an excellent defender and team guy that you see him in the clubhouse and what he brings to the table. So you want him going home clearing his mind of the negative stuff and get prepared for positive stuff when you're coming back, because you don't want this lingering over.
Do you have admiration for him, seeing how strong he's stayed for himself and his teammates?
Yeah, he's a team guy, and I think that's part of being a veteran and understanding. Even when guys started playing instead of him, he was still supportive and doing whatever he could for guys that were here. So, yeah, you admire that.
Dunn and LaRoche seem to have some trouble switching leagues.
Say that again?
Dunn and LaRoche seem to have some trouble switching leagues. And I not to cop out for them, but when you switched leagues, was it a very difficult transition? I don't remember your batting average plummeting like that.
Well, I mean, those are individual cases. Me going over to National League, that was a long time ago. But, for these guys, it's individual cases. Dunner came back and, had a 40 home run season. So it was, there are adjustments that are made. But, you start seeing interleague and things like that, you still see people in the National League. You still see teams come through here. So those are individual things, and those are just something that we're going to have to adjust to.
Robin, we obviously don't know what's going to happen in the offseason in terms of moves for your roster and that kind of thing. But when you look at Trace right now, as far as looking at spring training, would you say that he's put himself in a position where he'd have to play his way off the roster?
I don't know if you play your way off the roster, but he's definitely put himself on the map of, coming into spring training, people are going to know who he is, and he's going to get some playing time to see where that takes him. But, at this point, I don't think you sit there and say he's going to have to play himself off of it, but he's definitely put himself in a position to be on it.
How important is the offseason for him?
I'm not worried about his offseason. He works hard. He comes into spring training motivated. Every year he comes in great shape, ready to go. So this has just been a different year for him because he's made it to the big leagues, which is the goal of everybody that comes into spring training. And, I think the way he's responded to his opportunity becomes a different year for him in the offseason. But if there's any kid that you can trust going into the offseason that he's going to be motivated and come in shape, ready to go, it's Trace.
I eat on the pasta twice just...
Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria at Grand and Racine is the place to go before United Center Pavilion, Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox too. Dine in or carry out with great family recipes, including homemade pastas, steaks, seafood, a great fun bar area. Meet people, have a tremendous time. At Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria, Grand and Racine, you'll find a great variety of foods for you to enjoy at Salerno's.
Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. You better get to Jackie's Hot Dogs, open past midnight 7 days. 2 Polish and fry, $5.69. Gyros plate with big fries, $8.59. Big Baby Double Cheese, $2.85. Tamales, Italian beef, pizza puff, shakes, chicken breast, onion rings, and more at 5415 South Pulaski. They have it all going on at Jackie's Hot Dogs. I highly recommend it. I eat there periodically. I love it. You should try it too. We're back on the spotlight and a new Bulls coach in town. His name is Fred Hoiberg. He played for the Bulls and other NBA teams. He is a successful college coach, and he brings a way different air to this team as a guy who, well, first of all, with some NBA experience as a player, And it's hard to put into words, but you'll hear him talk, and you'll hear his vastly different approach. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. Time will tell. But I think a lot of relatability to the current crop of players, because this guy was in the NBA playing in the 2000s.
Steve, it's exciting. It really is to get out there for the first time. I remember, the first time I stepped out on the floor as a player. That was back in the day where they did the old joke and let the rookies run out before anybody else. Just sit there all by yourself. But yeah, it's always great, to go out that first game and get butterflies out of the way, jitters, get that first experience. It's great for our young guys, and that's the thing, that hopefully this will benefit most, is get our young guys out there, get their feet wet, and then hopefully continue to get better each step of the way.
What will people see in terms of not a finished product? How far from that? Will your impact be noticeable?
Sure. We'll try to keep it pretty basic, as all teams do at this time of year. We don't have a lot of our stuff in, just a lot of our flow, secondary offense, that we'll try to, hopefully space the floor properly and get some good looks. But it's an evolving process, and hopefully, this first one we go out there and do some positive things, but I'm sure we'll have plenty to work on after tonight.
I read something that you analyzed the Bulls as maybe passing up good opportunities at times, and yet you wanted to work on them taking their shot. What about that?
I'm sorry, as far as
about passing up good looks and being too fine, the extra dribble or something like that.
Yeah, in a 24-second shot clock, if you have a good look, we expect our guys to rise up and shoot the ball with confidence. If you turn down that first one, a lot of times that leads, to a contested shot. So we'll try to go out there and hopefully our offense can create some good looks. Get our playmakers some driving lanes where they can get in the paint, create for themselves and also for their teammates. But that's where it starts with spacing the floor properly. And if a guy has a good look, he's got to step in and rise up with confidence.
I think we're going to see Jordan Crawford at all tonight. What has he been doing during the game?
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, Jordan, he's been really good. I've been really happy with him, as all our guys. Steph Hanna came in a couple days late into camp after Derek went down. Jake Anderson is a guy that's done everything we've asked of him. Marcus Simmons, another guy that's I thought been very good in this camp. We'll get Big Chris out there as well, and give those guys a shot. They've done a lot of great things for us. Working out in camp, and hopefully they can go out and get a shot and go out and perform well.
Coach, seeing Jimmy Butler up close and personal, is it different than watching him on television when you were coaching Iowa State?
Yeah, he's such a complete player. He's so willing, to be in the right spots defensively. He's very coachable. He's a guy offensively. You tell him one time if he makes a mistake and he doesn't make that mistake again. He's a very cerebral player, very high basketball IQ. He's been phenomenal early on in the season.
How much experimenting do you do in the preseason? Maybe more than you do in the regular season, obviously. But do you have a percentage on that?
Don't have an exact percentage on it, but yeah, that's what preseason is for. Is to go out and experiment and get new lineups, different guys playing together. And once we get our guys back, hopefully this will be the only game we have this many players out.
The Lansing Floral Shop. Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound, saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.